And welcome to Benchmonster TV.
I'm Ashley Lynn Condre.
And I am the Bench Monster.
Thank you for joining us this week.
How's everybody this evening? Alrighty then. Hey, what an interesting day, interesting week, interesting times. It really is, This week's putting the show together, I cruise through social media and try to look. I see a lot more gyms have opened in this country, which is kind of cool. Seeing a lot more people lifting now, and that's exciting. Then there's a lot of, negative stuff and political stuff and looting and all this kind of crap going on too. So you got to filter through that.
Stuff,
yeah, so that's been going on. But this week I'm wearing the Rubicon Garage Fitness shirt. Given to me by Adam Evans. He allows my crew to go out and train at his garage gym, and we can't thank really nice setup. Can't thank the guy enough. And without that, I think we'd be up shit creek without a paddle and just doing maintenance work otherwise. So at least we're able to get together the limited crew that we have and perform max effort and speed bench on certain days. So I appreciate the shirt and the ability to train out there. So we were going to have I don't know if you call it a guest. We were going to have our cat.
He threw a big tantrum 2 minutes before it was time to air. So
2 minutes.
He's cut off for this episode.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
He's our special
jerk, man.
Family member, and we bought him his name's Tank. He's a 1-year-old. And
a year anniversary here coming up pretty soon.
Year anniversary.
Yeah.
He is a ocelot Obsidian breed. I had to Google that because we took that cat out on a drive recently. And
which we do each night.
We do each night.
On a trip.
Yeah,
he hangs out on the dashboard.
Hangs on the dashboard, which is probably illegal to drive around with a cat right on the dashboard of the steering wheel. But I do that, and we pulled into a store, and some psychic cat lady pulled beside us and started knocking on the window. And so I rolled it down, and she said that I thought it was just a tabby. That's a welfare cat. We got it at the welfare office, right?
The Humane Society.
Humane Society.
Shelter or whatever.
Shelter, yeah. So I just thought we had a alley cat, and she says, no, you got an Obsidian. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but I Googled it. And those are like orange cats. But ocelots have the stripes, black spots, and little stripes, kind of like a tabby. And that's what he has. And
he's got orange in his belly fur, not in the rest of him.
Yeah, so we were holding him just a second ago, and he had a panic attack.
He was just being grumpy and making all sorts of noises we haven't heard before.
Yeah. So. Oh, screwed that up. So, maybe next time. Maybe we'll.
Next time. It was my mistake. I brought him down too early.
Okay.
We should have brought him down right before the show and then held him. But I brought him down like 15 minutes ago.
He's overstimulated or something. He's a young cat.
That was too long. So we'll try again next week.
Yeah. I know we'll have human guests soon, but we thought we'd introduce the Tank and to the YouTube world. But so this week in lifting, I have nothing to say about deadlift, as usual. She's the deadlift person.
I like deadlift.
But
it's my favorite.
Bench for me was basically a volume bench press this week. It wasn't max effort or anything too crazy. What do I say? I think I'm low on vitamin D is what the word. I had blood work done, so I got a 5,000 IU shot of vitamin D and a glutathione shot. And man, I feel a lot better. Feeling pretty poppy now. So I guess I haven't been getting enough sun or vitamins or something in my diet with vitamin D.
You came to the river with me and jumped in the water, you'd gotten some more sun.
Well, I don't want to go. It's hot out there.
That's why you jump in the river.
I did yard work today, so I don't want to go back out in the sun. So, but yeah. So we'll go over my volume bench workout. It's nothing too exciting, but we're gonna do it anyway. But Ashley dug up some lifter profile videos that we'll go over too, and no matter what they are, they're always fun to watch. And she always picks out some hardcore females, and so when I put them on here, I get to watch them multiple times, and always impressive. And we'll play those first. But what else is going on? Still over in Seattle, they got the Occupied thing going on. I
haven't heard about that in a couple days. I'm sure they do, but
I read it on Facebook, and that the Hells Angels were going to go out there and take care of it. I guess this is what the insurgents look like. I think you can take him.
Is that a guy? I thought it was a girl.
It's both. I think he's got a sidearm, but he's holding fort there in the 6-block radius of Seattle, and he's not the leader of the crew, but very dangerous individual. I was intimidated. I don't know what to say. Somebody needs to.
He's kind of cute. I mean.
Really?
He looks like a little kid, kind of, yeah.
Well, I don't know what the red star is. I don't know what the cello bands on his wrists are that 1983 faded out.
Can't really take him seriously.
Yeah, the camouflage pants and the beret thing.
Okay, if that's what we've got, how come we haven't taken care of this already?
Well, it's a block party, and apparently the leader, I forget his name, he's a heavily armed individual. He's handing out AR-15s out of the trunk of his car to teenagers, and they have it on video. I guess that's not a crime in this country to hand out and arm militants that have taken over a city block. I guess the Seattle mayor says it's a block party, and it's a effing joke. And hey, I understand protests, but what they're doing is above and beyond. And somebody needs to roll an Abrams tank down Queer Street and take care of these people. But I didn't say that. But I like that picture. He seemed like an intense. Somebody I want on my team. I mean, definitely got the ability to put up some serious weight.
Rainbow bracelet.
I don't think those are cello bands. That's 1983. I don't think he could plate load or do anything else other than maybe give me ammonia, inhalant before I lift, but not an intense individual. But that's the armed militant group in Seattle. And we're in Washington here, southeastern Washington, so we're 3 hours away from Seattle. Thank God. I'm glad we're not up there. But I just want to touch on that, make fun of it. I thought that was cute. I saw that on Facebook, and I don't even know if that's I don't know what it is. I'm confused. I want to look at it more, but I don't want to press the issue. We need to move on.
Okay.
So let's move into. You want to go into my workout?
Sure.
Okay. Well, usually I do that at the end, but let's see what we got. What is it called? Volume bench is what it's called. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and play that. And it's edited down somewhat, but we'll talk over it as we go. Rubicon Gym, of course. Nothing too exciting here. Came in and just wanted to go up to around 500 and play with it a little bit. I changed the camera angle here and it looked like it sucked, so I moved it after this, of course, but here we are warming up. Nothing too exciting. It was very warm in there that day. It's a garage, it's warm, so there was a little sweat going on, but I'm impressed with my arch. Boiler looks good. Bar stroke looks good. There, I switched angles a little bit here. 315. Just testing the waters. Make up this workout as I go along. Here Nate decides he's going to do some one board today. I want you to notice too the point of his elbow. I mean, he's in the 8 and 4 position when he bench presses, and when he pushes the weight up, you can see the elbow stays there. It doesn't turn out. Externally rotate. That's pushing in a straight line. He's a great bencher. I taught him everything he knows.
You knew you weren't going to be able to just leave the compliment there. You had to get a little one-liner in there.
So I'm just filling out process here. I'm just seeing what the weight feels like. That's Nate. He has to stand in front of my feet there because the floor is a little slick, so I can push with my feet. I don't have any Stickum or skateboard tape on the bottom of my shoes today, so when I drive with my feet, of course, I'm driving down and away, trying to slide towards my handoff partner there. You really don't want to push with your heels straight down because your glutes will come off the bench. So it's almost a down and away movement that I'm doing, pushing towards the handoff person as the bar is out. This is 495. I'm doing a little one board here. I'm just kind of like, yay, nothing exciting, just blah. I think I did a few sets there, and then I was going to go on the way down. I was going to do some close grip here. So now I brought my grip in 1.5 inches from the rings there, and smooth and controlled, nothing crazy. I think I did a few sets of 5 there. And I think Nate's going to work on some 3-board presses here. He's going to work that lockout and that tricep there. Notice how he brings the bar to the board controlled. He doesn't bring it down and smack it down. It's smooth and controlled movements. Pretty light though. And what do I do next? I thought I brought my... no, I think I'm going to do... I think on the 5th set here, I actually bring my ring finger into the smooth part of the bar, which is really close. It was kind of painful on the wrists, to be honest, but I wanted to emphasize more tricep development here. So I brought it in super close. The weight's not... I could have locked that out a little bit more. I understand that. That looked pretty shitty. And then Nate decided to pull out some chains, and I'm like, hey, that's a good idea. Why not? So I'm not sure what the chain weight is here. I think they're 60 pounds altogether, so probably 30 on each side hanging there. Did a few sets there, and then I said I was going to pay tribute, homage to Anthony Clark and do some reverse grip bench, and nobody wanted to do it but me, and I haven't done it in a while, so I decided to take it out and do some reverse bench here. That really felt good.
Wow, 315.
Yeah, I've done 500 like that before.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
I like reverse grip bench. I like doing reverse grip bench to 2 boards or 3 boards. It really works that medial head inside the elbow. And when you do reverse grip bench, you don't press over your face, obviously. Now we decided to hook up bands behind us and bands straight down. So what happens here is the green band that's anchored to the Forza bench is actually pulling the bar to the head, to the face. And then we use micro minis on each side, and they're pulling down. So you have a interesting resistance technique here. And we did multiple sets. A little longer rest periods, because these are hard, especially after the volume we just did. I mean, I know it doesn't look like a lot of weight, and you're probably saying that's, chicken feed, but after what we do, it's taxing. And the bands definitely at an overspeed eccentric phase. That's why I'm doing them quite fast, because faster down is faster up. That's why I'm trying to get it down quick and get it up quick there. I like these, especially with the band hooked behind. It really pulls it right down to the chin. Then when we moved into this is something I made up on the spot. This is a rolling dumbbell. We did 10 reps rolling and then 10 dumbbell presses. So it's 20 total reps. And these are hard too. After the bench workout, the extensions with the bands, and these, you can see Nate gritting his teeth, and these are tough. And then I think these were 60s. Good starting point. You think after those rolling dumbbells it's going to be easy, but the triceps are already fatigued somewhat, so it's a son of a bitch. And we go back to back here. We don't take long rest periods. He sets them down, I go, and then we get another one, we go back to back. We don't dilly-dally much in training. We talk shit to each other in between sets, and that keeps us primed. These are my bread and butter. I love rolling dumbbells. When Louis showed me these back in 2001, they're my bread and butter, something I love to do. Looks like my head's gonna explode. I'm not breathing, so it's awfully red. Let's see what else do we. I think Nate goes to get 70s. I hope, yeah. Very important with these rolling dumbbells to grip into the middle of the dumbbell. Don't let your palm or your thumb touch the weights on these dumbbells. You want to squeeze those dumbbells like he's doing right in the middle. Squeeze those tight as can be, because that activates the triceps. If you let your palms or your thumbs or the bottom end of your hand touch the weights, it defeats the purpose in my book. In the middle and squeeze those sons of bitches. These will improve your lockout like no other. But don't do them too often. 2 weeks in a row and switch. That's kind of how we run things. Makes me want to go do rolling dumbbells right now. Love them. like I said, 70s there. I need to kick him up to about 90s, to be honest with you, but it was kind of just a 70% day. It wasn't a total max effort, I'm sorry to say. Because I go by feel, you know. You got to listen to your body. You go in, maybe the brain wants to go 1,000%, but the body says otherwise. And my body wasn't 100% that day. So, yeah, that was my volume bench workout. Okay. In a nutshell, it was condensed. I mean, I didn't show every rep and set, but you know, I just wanted to throw that out there. Now, I want to, before we get into Ashley's spotlight lifters, and there's some really cool women coming up. One important thing to get across is what's happening this Saturday on ESPN. Now, we're on the West Coast over here, and I believe it's 9 a.m. in the morning. This big bench meet that's coming up, and it's going to be televised on so cool. ESPN, so we're going to have to look for it. Thomas T.D. Davis, and we got Julius Maddox on there, and then I saw this up today. It's all over Facebook. I'm sure everybody's seen it. This big guy right here is he's gonna go for the biggest raw bench, which he already has, but I never in my life, you know, when I did 800 in 2002 in a shirt, that was historical. And at the time, you know, 705, or I think James Henderson had the all-time raw bench or something, or CD, or however you want to slice it. But this guy here is going to make history, and I'm rooting for him. I'm going to shoot him a text message. I wanted to call him, but I'm not going to bother him. He's probably in a zone right now. He's 72 hours away from going out there and making history, and I'm pulling for him. And Thomas T.D. Davis, I mean, that guy, saw both these guys bench at the Arnold. We're going to see some 700-pound benches, and hopefully they increase their PRs. And my question, you know, we've been fumbling this around in training is I wonder what Julius is going to open with. Excuse me. You know, if I'm not his coach by any means, but I look at what I've seen, and I'd like to think that Julius opens with a 740 or 738 or 745, and then takes a shot at 800. I don't know what his who's his coach? Oh, forget. Oh, geez, drawing a blank. Anyway, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I hope he gets it on because usually on a second attempt is my best bench. You know, you set the pace with the opener, you get on board, and then your second and third. And third attempt is usually an adrenaline-fueled attempt. Usually, if I got the second, I'm fired up, and the third one, and if you got ball power enough, maybe you get a fourth sometimes. So we'll have to wait and see. But I definitely will be tuning in and searching channels. Oh, Josh Bryan, I'm sorry. Josh Bryan is coach, a regular strength.
I didn't know that was his coach.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Josh Bryant's a smart man. And I talked to him on the phone a year ago. You know, I was going to hire his services on. And 'cause I want to increase my raw bench too. You know, not only my shirt bench, but if there's some new techniques and skills out there that I'm not doing, that other people are doing, then I want to do them because I want to get better. And I know damn well that if I increase my raw bench, the shirted bench will follow. But, you know, I don't know it all. You know, I've been doing it for 20-some years, and I learned from others, and I pass the information that I've learned down to others too, and I'm still learning. So it's a kind of exciting time. And 800 raw bench, I just never thought in my life that I would see that. But when I stood behind him at the Arnold and he did 770, and he popped that up like an empty bar, and then he went behind the stage, and then I was looking around, and I went over to the scorer's table because I thought he was going to go for 800. He had it that day. I mean, 770 was an empty bar. It didn't even stick. So. But he passed. Obviously, he wanted to do it at a bigger show, and I don't blame him. ESPN, and I think it's gonna be awesome. So we need to get into Ashley's spotlight videos here. She got some lifters here, and which one do you want to start with?
Either one.
Which one? How about Steph?
Sure.
Okay, Steffi
Cohn.
This
one, everybody knows her, but we have to touch on her because she is so amazing and impressive. So. This is Steffi Cohen. She weighs 125 in this particular video, but she competes in the 123 weight class.
Now, she's at the Arnold Classic here in the animal cage.
This is the animal cage, yep.
And I don't want to steal her thunder, but I did some bench press for reps in there for body weight, and I got a free T-shirt.
Gosh.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
But no, she has some impressive
I thought you were
lifts here.
going to say something else.
No.
I thought you were going to take something away.
It's an intense place when you got people watching you. It's
yeah.
There's some
I was
energy
like
there.
Watching all those people in the background just while she warms up. I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's an intense environment.
Very impressive.
It's like being in the octagon almost. But obviously she warms up here and
she's warming up, and then she takes a couple attempts. She does right here. So she does
What's this,
500.
500?
You can see a little chip. It's 500. She's going to do it for double.
A double?
Again, this is at a body weight of 125 pounds.
125?
Totally insane, yes.
And she's like 5'1", I think, right?
I think somewhere in there.
Yeah.
I think she's fairly short.
I think she makes this look easy because I watched it earlier.
She does. The 540 she's got to work for a little more, but this is just like...
Is there any weight on the bar?
God, I know. It's crazy. I mean, this is impressive, you know, at any body weight, but at that small, that light of a body weight, it's insane. You don't have much weight helping you move that bar.
Well, she's out of California somewhere, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. And she lifts at the U.S. Open, the Kern, and yeah, she does big shows. So.
Yeah, the video that we showed last week of
Mariana
Gasparian, she was going head to head with Steffi here, and she beat her, I believe. But it was a close fight, I think.
530 pounds, lady. Jesus. Yeah, I don't care. Effortless.
Most people have probably seen this, but again, I feel like we definitely need to showcase it because she's amazing. We
amazing person.
gotta talk about her. I was trying to find videos of girls that maybe not everybody's seen, but we gotta show her when spotlighting lifters because she's a very impressive lifter.
I like to see her lift in person, and like I said, I want to go to a meet where all these great lifters are and be a part of it.
So this is 540 pounds.
540?
I believe so.
This is like everyday business for her. I mean, it's like nothing new. She does this all the time. Jesus.
Okay, 545. I stand corrected.
Not a lot of flex in that bar. Rigid. Locks it out. Boom. That's super cool. And maybe next year at the Arnold Classic, they'll have the animal cage, or maybe this was at the Olympia. I don't know. Hard to say.
Sure. I'm not sure where this one was. It's different than the original video that I tried to send you.
Well, it got me excited because hopefully next year, if there's no COVID thing going on, everybody gets to go and it'll be a madhouse and it'll be fun. Okay, so the next person. We got to keep moving here because we got questions approaching over here.
Yeah, we do.
But I wanted to get Laura Phelps here some highlights. And we picked, this is like Laura a 2012
Phelps.
meet.
This is really old, but again.
Yeah, so Well, thank you for posting those videos. I enjoyed putting them on here today, and like I say, when she gives me the videos to put on here, I usually watch them like 4 or 5 times, and just to get a feel for them. And I've seen them before sometimes, but Steffi Cohen I'm not too familiar with, so I want to see more of her lifts, and she's an intense individual herself. Yeah. So, well, should I go to some questions over here? Because I mean, I don't want to leave my subscribers here hanging.
Of course not. Never.
And I'm a rambler, so better do something here quick, or we're going to be here all night.
Yes, you're 25 minutes in, so
okay.
We don't want this.
Well, let's start with Jim. Jim here was put a question on here before we even started, so we're going to start with that guy.
Ryan,
Jim.
Thanks for answering in advance. Looking to get into a single-ply shirt. Any suggestions for someone just getting in a shirt? I'm coming up on a 500 raw bench. Should have it by October. Wow, nice.
Single ply shirt. Well, you know, if you asked me that, and I read that question prior to turning the Benchmonster TV on, I think, to be honest with you, I think Titan makes a great shirt. I see a lot of vast improvements in the Titan shirt because I see it online. I see people lifting them. That's why I would recommend them. I'm seeing a lot of great things done. Jimmy Kolb. I mean, Evil Twin. I don't know much about him. I was never a Titan guy. Other guys on my team were, and they had tremendous success. And that was back in the day. And I'm sure their shirts are a little more advanced, and that would be a very awesome single ply to start with. And I don't know if Ken Anderson is still part of that team, but he's a super nice guy. He'd be the guy to get a hold of if you were looking for a single ply shirt. That's just my opinion. I mean, I'm entitled to it, so that's what I say. All right.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Mr. Elite Entertainment. Julius Maddox will be attempting 800 pounds on Saturday.
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
And we're super excited about it. We're cheering him on for sure. How much band tension do you use during speed work?
25%. So take your 1 rep max raw and times it by 0.25, and that's how much band tension you should use. Double mini bands anchored to dumbbells. And we don't choke them. We was that the term? We double them. So you take the band, put one end under, and bring both ends up to the bar. That's we call that doubled. I think that's choked intense. Is where you put one end around and through itself, and just one end up. We take both ends up, and that's 75 pounds at the top. So that's how we gauge our speed work. And we usually use, but you know, I'm a 500 plus raw bencher, so I use a double monster mini. And that's I think it's 120. So a mini band is 75. Micro minis are 40. The way we hook them up. So, Christian Garza, how you doing, brother?
I just recently had a pec tear.
Oh shit.
Pec tear surgery on my left side. What type of rehab would you recommend?
So I'm assuming you tore the.
I tore my pec benching 500 for 4 with a blue slingshot, a low-level assistance device. I am thinking the slingshot is what caused the tear.
Yes and no. I'm assuming you tore the tendon, and they had to go in and reattach the tendon. I tore my pec 3 times, and the first time I tore it, I had a 5 centimeter tear through the major and a 2 centimeter tear through the minor. And my pec was out to here, and I did it with improper technique. It was my fault, and surgery was not an option because the doctor said it's like sewing together a filet mignon. So they must have went in and reattached your tendon, I'm assuming. What type of rehab do you recommend? Well, the first thing you do is wait a certain amount of time after the surgery, of course, and then I myself did ART therapy because scar tissue would form, and when you tear a muscle, scar tissue doesn't form back like this; it forms like this. So I had ART therapy done it, but in your case, you're probably going to have some atrophy somewhat. So I would definitely start with a bar and I like a band, like a mini band, and sets of 100. Just get a lot of blood in there, a lot of stimulation, but nothing that's going to break down. You got to take baby steps coming back and pay attention to your body and not push it too hard, too fast. I don't know if you're a younger guy or an older guy, but if you're starting rehab on Tuesday, that's good too. Rehab's going to help. So you're just in the early stages. Be patient. You will come back 110%. It's not over, Christian. Most people think when they tear a pec, and I thought it myself too. I mean, I almost gave up on life because I was at the 800 level, and when it happened, I tried to go in and bench the next day, and I couldn't bring the bar down because the pec was 5 inches out this way. So But slow, definitely the rehab is one thing. There's certain supplements that you can take over the counter that can help. I know vitamin C 500, I think was one that doctor recommended for cartilage repair, and so on and so forth, muscle repair. No, you just need to take baby steps. And my advice is start with a bar and maybe a micro mini band and just nice slow movements, get blood in there, various grips, work out a little bit wider. And you're going to get to a point where your brain is going to say, hey, it's feeling good. And then you're going to feel a twang, and it's going to freak you out for a week or two. So you're going to have little bumps along the way, but you will come back. John Smith.
Got any luck out of the Bench Daddy yet?
Okay, here's the story on the Bench Daddy is the shirt that I got was just, like I said, handcuffed me here. I couldn't pinch my shoulders. So I borrowed a 56. Mine was a 52 triple from my handoff partner. And I played with that a little bit, and it seems it's more apt to my body, and I think that's the size I need. So I contacted Womack a week ago, and he's in the process of making a 56 as we speak. So once I get that in, I'll be toying with that. But it seems to fit my body better, and I'm able to, for one, get my hands out and pinch my shoulders, because you got to pinch those shoulder blades together. At least I do. I don't lay there completely smothered with my hands handcuffed forward. So you got to pinch those shoulder blades and tighten that base. So, David. Fald. Scene.
Where are we at? Point.
Sean.
Good
Default.
evening, Ryan and Ashley.
My cigar guy.
Do you like the fat pad much versus this thinner pad on the Forza?
I do like the fat pad, but here's the problem though. When you get accustomed to the fat pad, you go to a bench meet and the fat pad's not there. It's a standard Forza spec narrow bench. And so you have to train on the apparatus that you're going to be using in a contest. So if you're going to be training on a fat pad, which I like, you want to make sure that the meet you're going to is going to have a fat pad. Because if it doesn't, then it's kind of a game changer, because you don't have that those rear delts don't sit on that fat pad. When you have a Forza spec narrow bench pad to lay on. They're two different worlds. So make sure that you train on the apparatus that you're going to be using in a meet for sure.
Mark Henry is scared of the tricep power.
I hope so. Thank you.
Vern. Hi, Vern. What is your opinion on Dave Tate? I just discovered his video.
Oh, Dave Tate's awesome. A wealth of knowledge, ex-West Sider. Can't say enough about the guy. Wanted him to go out to his gym in Ohio.
Time.
Didn't have time. We were running
Next
ragged.
time.
Yeah, next time we head out there, I'd like to go out there and do a sit down with him and pick his brain. And Dave Tate's actually one of the people where I got the triceps of death, triceps assistant exercise, where we take, for instance, in my case, I use 315. Other guys on the team use 275, but we do 5 reps close grip on a 5 board. Then they change in a 4 board, 5 reps, 3 board, 5 reps, 2 board, 1 board into your chest. And when you get down to your chest, it is the most painful tricep exercise movement, but I love it. And triceps of death is what he called it. And he had a video, and I follow that too. And a lot of his instructional videos are cool too. Very knowledgeable
Very
individual.
Mm-hmm. Very. Saw where you posted about James Henderson a few months ago.
Yep.
He's a great man.
Mm-hmm.
He and I traveled with the power team for years.
Super cool.
He would do 700 week after week on the road.
I heard about that. Yeah, that is crazy. The guy was a monster too. I haven't met the man. 400 plus pounds, 6'2". I posted that video because I was impressed. I'm impressed by a lot of things that I see, and I just like to showcase it, and he was a beast. I remember that power team, man, ripping phone books, folding frying pans, and things of that nature. And James Henderson with the Rolex watch, T-shirt, boom, nothing for him. He 400 pounds, that's true, Crypt Keeper. He's 400, probably 400 plus at the time.
Thanks for answering my question about getting the bar down in my SBD. I was able to get 600 down and it touched. Now I want to go 700. Do you have any tricks to do so?
Okay, if you got 600 a touch in a Phenom, there's a couple tricks. One, I'm not a big proponent of messing with the neckline, like by pulling it down super far. My neckline on my Phenom is a horseshoe scoop where it comes down almost at a teardrop. So it's already scooped down here. So I don't adjust that. If anything, I pull it up somewhat. But the secret to the Phenom is behind the tricep. pull the sleeves all the way up, and then right back here, where you break your arms back, there's a crease, and that's your tricep support line. And if you want to, if 600 touches, then pull that tricep support line down a ½ inch and go up 50 pounds. It'll take 50 pounds more to touch. Don't pull the whole sleeve off your arm. Just pull the back of it down. That was my ticket.
John Smith,
Duval?
I agree. James Henderson did it on a garbage bench,
Yeah.
no wrist wraps. I think he could have been a 800 raw bencher with wraps and modern comp bench.
I agree. I saw one of his videos from the power team, and it looked like a nebula bench. It was like 5 inches off the ground, probably a popsicle stick bench that wide. And the guy was out there doing it week after week. Impressive individual.
Yes, Laura Phelps really did do that, if
Yep.
that's what you're referring to.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're referring to Steffi Cohen or Laura Phelps. Fake plates, no.
No.
Moving on.
Becca Swanson. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an impressive individual, too. You know, here's a
haven't
Becca
heard about her in
Swanson
a
story.
long time.
Very nice lady. Awesome gal. When I go to the Arnold or Bench for Cash meets or anywhere, we always go out to dinner. And I remember a couple times, Becca Swanson wants to sit next to me. And she's got bigger legs than I do. And I don't want to sit next to her. So I have to move. You know, just she's the nicest lady on earth. And we should do a tribute video for her, too. I'll try to find some.
Yeah, I did kind of try to look for her last time.
I want to
but
say
then-
she's the first woman to bench 600. Don't quote me on that, but I think her 600 shirted bench, 848 canvas suit squat, and
crazy.
yeah, and just a super nice lady. I see her on Facebook posting videos a lot, so we should find some information and get her in the lifter spotlight. That's what we call it, the lifter spotlight showcase. So I'm going to find more and more videos of just normal people too. I mean, I go through Facebook and I see guys hey, a guy doing 400 in a shirt is impressive. I mean, he's out there, he's posting it online, he's making it happen. So every lift is impressive to me, and it's just cool.
What would you do if your mother attacked you?
What would I do if my mother would never attack me?
That's a weird question.
That's a weird question,
I'm
Crypt Keeper.
not really sure what to... We'll go ahead and move on.
Yeah, well, it's on there, so I'm going to answer for you. And I don't. My mom's the nicest lady in the world, so probably not attacking me. But yeah, Chris Lancaster.
What are your thoughts on a JM press with dumbbells? Please describe how you would execute this. Would this be a good substitute for rolling dumbbells, triceps?
Well, a JM press. Now, if you say JM press, there's 75 different ways to do it. So if you watch JM Blakely's video, he says to take it here and keep the elbows and turn it. You roll it back, and there's so many different ways. So if you're going to take dumbbells and do them like that, then I would say yes. Is it an alternative to rolling dumbbells? No. I think rolling dumbbells are their own entity, and they need to be done separately. But JM press with dumbbells would be a good exercise because it would equalize the amount of weight in each hand as opposed to a barbell. So you could take them, elbows kind of turned out in a 90-degree, flare back like this. Actually, and I think Louis recommends to let the wrist roll back a little bit and then extend up. So like I said, there's 75 different ways to do JM presses. So I definitely would, and we have to try those tomorrow. We're speed benching tomorrow, so maybe we'll try those JM presses with dumbbells. Yeah, maybe I'll video that and see how that works.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm not saying they'll look pretty. I mean, I've never done them, but you gave me a new exercise to add to my 45 tricep exercise list. So thank you, Lancaster. That's super cool.
Whatever happened to
Judy
Judith
Severchek.
Severchek?
Yeah.
She was an intense lifter.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. She was the first female I ever saw deadlift 500.
Judith Severchek. Well, she was part of Powerlifting Superstore.
Pride Powerlifting.
Pride
And then
Powerlifting,
to the
Spokane.
Power Gym,
When that fell apart, she was a chemist, and she had a highly lucrative job, and I don't know what happened to her. I don't know, no social media or nothing. I haven't.
I haven't heard.
Very
about her
strong
in a long
lady.
time.
500 deadlift at 138.
Over at 148.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't know,
Or maybe
Todd.
165.
I'll have to check into that, Todd. I'll have to Google her and see if
Strong lady.
see where she's at. I don't know if she's lifted. I don't have a clue. That's an interesting name. Haven't heard that one. Last time I saw Judith Severchek was 2005 or 6. So it's been a while.
No, it's been sooner than that. We saw her in 2008
Where?
at Pride Powerlifting meet.
Was she there?
509. It was.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
most of the
Well, I've done
time.
so many meets, man.
I know.
It's not Alzheimer's. I'm healthy. I just thought
I
bear
just
with me.
remember because that was my first. She was at my first meet.
Your first meet, okay.
And my first.
And that way,
first couple
and Campen
meets.
was there. Rest in peace. Yeah.
Very sad. Have you ever met Nick Winters?
Absolutely. Met Nick Winters Once briefly, he was at a meet back east somewhere. I want to say, God, it was a long time ago. Just shared a brief conversation with him. Very strong kid, nice man, and it was sad to hear him. He passed with I don't know. I think it's had a large heart or something. I heard another story while we were out at Westside this year, and I don't remember what. I think Hoff told me or somebody told me he passed of something different. But super nice kid, 700 raw bencher. Heart of gold, just a super nice man, and miss him. You know, he's one of those guys. You know, in the circuit. You know, when you're running the circuit, you're going to Bench Bash for Cash, you're going to WPO, you're going to the Arnold, you're bouncing around all these big meets, and all the big benchers are there. And he was at one of them, if I remember correctly, in the circuit when I ran it. So.
Right on. Julius is on a fat pad. I'm happy to see.
Federation's
approving
That's
them.
cool. Yeah, fat pad. I'd like to get one myself. I don't have one on my Forza bench, but I'll invest in call Donnie Thompson and order one up for sure. Yeah, and start using it.
Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Okay, that's cool. How's Tiny Meeker doing? Well, he's doing good. You know, he wanted to be the first guest on Benchmonster TV, and I just need to give him a call, and we do a practice run on Skype, and we throw him on here, and we talk lifting. Yeah, I really don't want to have anybody else because he told me on the phone he wanted to be the first guest, and he's got the first spot. So I'm just a little nervous yet about putting a guest on here and having audio problems and having it not work and looking like a rookie YouTuber, and it scares me a little bit. So bear with me. Be patient, but he will be the first guest. I definitely want to have him on here, and I want to ask him 5 questions and about his life, and yeah, it'd be fun because I ask weird questions. You know, I want to know how much he benched in high school. I want to know how much he weighed in high school because, you know, everybody asks, like, what did you bench in high school? Well, when I was a junior in high school and I was every bit of 185 pounds and I was 5'11", I did a 200-pound bench for 1 rep. And there's a lot of kids in high school that can blow that out of the water. So it just goes to show what you can do, the course of time and effort and hard frickin' work. Let me tell you. And it's not, like I said, it doesn't happen overnight. You can take any sorry SOB off the street here that's got half-witted, weightlifting skills and diet him down and put him on a bodybuilding show in 10 weeks or 3 months. Take that same guy in the gym and have him bench 600 raw in 3 months. Ain't gonna happen. Strength, a whole different animal, and it has to be earned.
What happened to the Monster Muscle Superstore?
Monster Muscle, I'm assuming that's West Campins. That was a Spokane insert distribution company that Wes Campen and Michelle Campen, and they ran it out of their house. And it basically, in a nutshell, Wes Campen divorced his wife, and the wife took it over, and she ran it for a while. Then I don't know what happened. There was some, I'm not going to get into it. There were some business issues between her and John Inzer, and we'll just leave it at that. It folded, but it was a great store. I remember at the time when they were running that, I had just benched the 800 pounds in the triple denim. Well, it wasn't a triple, it was a double denim with a poly in the middle, so it wasn't triple denim. But when I benched that, I remember over the next year, this was 2004 because they were separated and I was dating her. So I was dating Michelle Campen. So I remember I'd go up to her house and she'd have the Superstore downstairs in her basement, and she would look at me and she goes, "Ryan, you don't know how much money you're making John Inzer. People call here every day wanting the shirt you use to bench 800. I remember she said that to me over and over again. Every time I saw her, she said I had no idea. So that's super cool. You know, I'm glad I broke open the door with the 800 bench and, did it in a denim at the time, and then, of course, bench shirts would evolve. And I think I went into a Rage X soon after that. And then, like I said, the story goes, everybody and the grandmother was hitting 800 pounds. So it really opened the door after RCD in 85 to me in 2002, 700, 800, or I don't know. I'm not one guy to come on here and like, I'm the first guy to do 800. I don't care. I saw Anthony Clark March 1st, 97 or whatever on the Arnold. He attempted the 800, and I'm not taking anything away from anybody. I just was fortunate enough to do it, and it's kind of a cool story how I did it too, because I didn't want to do it that day. Like I said, I just tried it in Houston, Texas a week prior, and I really didn't want to do it, but Gus Rethwich made me come down and call my numbers, and the rest is history. So.
Where the? What? Have you ever tried? No, where? One of them got.
Heard it was a blood clot.
it got deleted.
Art Ramsey. Holy crap! I haven't heard Art Ramsey. Are you out there, Art Ramsey?
Yeah, he had a question. He was asking. I had read it. He was asking you if you were going to be doing any meets in the upcoming year, and there were a couple parts to the question. I can't remember. And he mentioned that he used to compete with you
Art
in
Ramsey.
the early 90s and the 2000s.
Yeah, Northern California, I believe, somewhere out there.
I don't know why it's retracted.
I don't know why messages are retracted for. I don't know what's happening there.
There's been a couple of those.
Blood clot. I'm assuming that was Nick Winters we were talking about.
That was
your Elite Entertainment, yeah.
No, we're down.
Superstore.
How's the fishing up in Washington?
Right now, we went bass fishing. I'm not going to post a picture because anytime I hold a fish out in front of me, it doesn't look very big. So, but we went out and did some, smallmouth bass fishing, and we were going to try to go out and do some sturgeon fishing because right now the shad are running, and when the shad run up from the ocean, and they're a bony, spiny fish, but they range from
good bait.
They make great bait. They range from anywhere
fish.
from 6 inches to 12 inches long, and you catch these shad. And you tie them on a hook, and then you catch oversized sturgeon. These shad tend to travel 14 feet of water up the side of the river. So you anchor there, you catch the shad, and then you drop them down there. And there's we might, we were trying to go out Saturday and do it, but because right now it's a good time to go out and catch some good oversized sturgeon. And oversizers are 6 and up, 6 feet up to 14 feet out here. And it's common to go out there and tangle with a 10-footer. And you think you're a strong, conditioned person. You come out on my boat and I tag you into a 10-footer in the summer when the sturgeon have a lot of piss and vinegar, and these fish, you'll fight them for 4 hours. I want to see what kind of arm endurance you have. When you hold a pole like this for 4 effing hours.
You pass it over to me
real
fast.
I pass the pole.
For a couple seconds. And
no, I don't want no part of it.
I don't want to.
Hey, when you start out your day and your first fish is 10 feet long and you fight that fish, I'm done for the day. My arms are noodles. So I basically set the hook and I pass it to my sea mates. So yeah, but fishing's fun, man. It was my first love before lifting, and I like to get out and do it once in a while. Where we at?
Let's see here. We're up here. Have you ever?
No,
I couldn't look at Brian Siders the same after that underwear story.
I'm sorry, man. It's a funny story. But, and when I get guest, BJ Dirk will be on here at some point. We'll get him on here, and he'll tell the same story. And it's no BS, man. He was a strange cat, the Siders.
Have you ever tried the California press? It's kind of like a JM press. I'm 55 years old, and I put it in as another variation of the JM press, and it's very good. And thanks for the tracks in the SDB.
Howard, will you do me a favor and send me a link to I'm going to post my email on here. Maybe you can send me a link to the California press. I want to know more about it, and I would like to do it. I'm not familiar with it, so if there's any way you can send me a link to a video or a video of you doing it, and it sounds like another exercise I can incorporate into my bag of tricks.
Okay.
John Smith.
Did you ever try one of the Karen Extreme Denim shirts?
Absolutely. If anybody knows history in itself, my first cover of Powerlifting USA, I happened to be in a Karen shirt. And it wasn't planned, but I was trying to beat Glenn Chabot that day because, back in the day, Powerlifting USA magazine was out, and every month you would go back to the top 100, and they would have the top 100 men, 125, 148, 165, and the 308 class, at the top of the number one was Glenn Chabot with 705, or it was 275. Glenn Chabot, I believe. And Ryan Kennelly was like 14. I mean, I started at further down, but as I did more meets, I got up and I was trying to take his record that day, and I did a 639 opener in an Inzer denim, hit it, and then I went 672 in an Inzer denim, and the neck blew. And I had a third attempt, and I had a Karen shirt in my bag, so I put it on, went out there, and gave it all hell in high water, and got 705, off my chest, and it stalled, but made the cover of Powerlifting USA, and that was my first cover. And if memory serves me correct, I think I made the cover of Powerlifting USA close to 7 times in one way or another. So that was true and honor. And Mr. Lambert, Powerlifting USA, I appreciate that. I mean, when you go to the bookstore and you get Powerlifting USA and you're on the front of the cover. I mean, that's the Wheaties box of powerlifting as far as I'm concerned. And I'm just a bench press guy, so.
Ryan, I got to see Paula Suzuki bench 403 in the mid-80s at the Hawaiian World Record Breakers. Paula Suzuki was in the 132 weight class.
I heard about her. I'm assuming that was Hawaii. That was Gus Ruthwetch's meet out there in Hawaii, and he put on a crazy show out there. I haven't heard that name in a while. I've seen videos of her, and she was an intense lifter in her own rights. That is super cool. These are names these are giving me chills, man.
And then the last comment that was on here was, the last time I heard Glenn Chabot was homeless.
Oh, that's not good. Mr. Elite Entertainment, where'd you hear that at? I actually tried to contact Glenn Chabot. He reactivated his Facebook account, and I sent him a message, and then, of course, I didn't hear anything back. That's not good. Never like to hear, anybody, having hard times. I mean, whether you like the guy or not, and some people don't like Glenn Chabot, but I just like to touch base with him. Hear his voice again. It's been so long. 2002. That's about the last time I heard from that guy. So yeah.
That's it for the
Well, let me turn off my email here. Let me get that going. But anyway, 7:51. Oh crap, 50 minutes. So like I say, in this video, as I said earlier, I was a little going on Facebook, seeing all the Black Lives Matter muggings. I saw a 90-year-old grandma get punched over in New York. I see a lot of things when I'm looking for videos to post, and it's hell on earth here is what we're doing, and it's just in the United States it's just completely crazy. So putting together these videos and whatnot, and searching for stuff to showcase on here, I got a little bummed the other day, and I just kind of needed to get my mind off of all the crap that I saw. Yeah, and so I made a little tribute. It made me happy.
You're a douche.
I'm not a douche.
You're a douche.
She doesn't know about it, but I'm gonna play it here.
I saw it.
I'm gonna end the show with this, and it made me smile, and maybe it makes you smile.
Of course it did.
Well, hey, you guys be the judge. Anyway, this is Benchmonster signing out, and we'll see you guys next Thursday. We'll share some more tales and have some fun, and like I say, God bless, and good night, everybody.